Welcome to Tech It Up. I'm Neil Bhay. This is the first of several videos where we focus on the broad topic of tech in our lives. Today's focus is appliances. If you like what you hear, subscribe to my channel or follow me here on Facebook, Threads, or Mastodon. Today, we're going to look at the Wolf Induction Range IR36550/S/T. The T stands for transitional. Now, the reason I'm reviewing this stove is because generally it was challenging finding post-purchase consumer videos on it, and I felt there was a need for those in the market. The reason for lack of videos is possibly because it's a luxury item. It's not in everyone's wallet to buy this, hence a very niche review item, but that's why I'm here. In this video, I'm going to cover the reasons induction may be the right choice for you, whether it's this induction stove or another, the overall specs on this particular stove, some personal tips on using the stove and installation, and finally the price versus the value. In the end, you'll find it's an innovative stovetop that in the world of gas and electric stoves takes a different, environmentally friendly approach to heating your food. First, let's cover why induction at all. Induction uses magnets, not an open flame or electric coil. It's more efficient and faster in the cooking of your food than traditional gas and electric, as it doesn't require a physical transference of heat from coil or flame to your cooking device. I'll repeat from before, it's also environmentally friendly, moving you away from the reliance of gas derived from fossil fuels in your home. In these times of having a green conscience, this may be important to you. The other item is it's better for your health. Recent studies show that even gas stoves, when turned off, can leak chemicals like nitrogen dioxide or carbon monoxide into the air, which has the implication of creating respiratory problems in people. If you have kids in your house like me, that might be a selling point for you. But if not for kids, it's just generally better for your own health or others in your household. Now, my personal favorite reason for those with OCPD or clean freak tendencies like myself, it's definitely easier to clean up. After cooking, you simply wipe down the glass countertop and you're done. I found cleaning a gas stove was way more arduous. Picking up the grills was a hassle, stains and grease would stick into the range. Basically, it was a challenging headache, and I'm glad to be done with it. If you live in New York State, recent legislation in New York will ban gas stoves in all new building developments moving forward. If you own or are buying a home in New York, you may get induction as part of the package. Even if you're upgrading your kitchen, you may want to consider this for all the reasons I gave you in this video. So, given this developer's incentive, this tech space will heat up, pun intended. If these buildings don't go with traditional electric, induction stoves like Wolf will be the future. Another legislation at the federal level that may help incentivize the switch to induction is the High Efficiency Electric Home Rebate Program, HEEHR, created as part of the Inflation Reduction Act. This could lower the cost of an Energy Star approved induction cooktop to make it in your budget. Now, let's talk about the specifications of this particular range. The Wolf Induction Range model IR36550 is a 36-inch model with 4 medium induction zones and 1 large center induction zone for multiple simultaneous cooking methods. Any of the 2 medium zones on left or right can be bridged for a combined induction zone for larger pan cooking. The controls for heat are managed by touch-sensitive buttons built into the glass. For the most part, much of the stove operates via a sleek touchscreen or native app on your phone. It also has a power boost feature, which gives you the power of a god. Actually, not so much, but it does increase the heating output to get your pan hot or water boiling in a matter of minutes. Quite useful in reducing your time with food preparation. Here's a brief demo sped up of water boiling in under a minute. Now, let's briefly look below the counter in the stove. Wolf has a dual vertiflow convection stove, which to me is a jumble of words. But what that means is that it provides reliably even heat to your dish, reduces hot and cold spots in the oven, and enables consistent multi-rack cooking with a number of presets, and at least 10 chef-created cooking modes, including, I'm going to list them all, bake, broil, convection, convection roast, dehydrate, gourmet, proof, roast, stone, and warm. If you're a professional cook, you might know what those are. I've yet to use any of these settings, but it's an excellent addition, giving you lots of options for whatever your culinary needs are. Maybe when I make a pizza or my Thanksgiving turkey or cook my famous Neil Bhay Mexican casserole dish, I'll give this a whirl. For my friends, you may know that Mexican casserole dish may deserve its own video, but it's a good go-to low-prep dish for dinner parties and even a family meal. Generally off topic. Let's go back to the stove. So as I mentioned, there is no flame and all heat is created by magnetics. You'll need magnet-friendly cookware. So some of this may already be in your arsenal and fit this criteria. I've included links in the description to this video to what I purchased for my own stove. So since there is no flame, but the pan still gets hot, the surface does get hot itself from the pan. And I'm not a doctor, but I do have a hand that knows heat. So the takeaway here is you can touch the induction zone post-cooking, and there's generally little chance of you getting scalded or burnt from the surface. And the Wolf also shows a little indicator to warn you of the hot surface just in case. Also, me personally, knowing someone who caught their shawl on fire on a gas stove, the lack of flame is a great safety feature. So that's another story for another time, but off topic, she's okay, and could have been better off with an induction stove. Another bit of a tip, while the glass is scratch resistant and most induction friendly cookware doesn't scuff the surface, I found cast iron more likely to scuff the glass. So I recommend using these silicone stove mats when using cast iron cookware. The link for these are also included in the description of the video. Here's another cooking tip. If you're used to tilting your pan on an open flame to distribute the heat, since induction cooking requires contact between the cookware and the induction zone, next time you're making pancakes or crepes or eggs or whatever it is, you'll find it unnecessary to tilt in an induction cooking style, as you once did in gas and electric cooking. It takes some getting used to, but it's really an easy adjustment. In terms of insulation, from personal experience, if you have an existing gas line that juts out of the wall, you'll need to cap that and possibly angle it in a way that it fits in the gap specifically designed for this behind the stove. If it can't be moved, you can end up with spacing anywhere to an inch or so between the stove and the back wall. I was able to tighten my gas pipe to an angle and fit into that space behind the stove, and there was still a tiny, tiny gap. I placed these silicone gap fillers in the back to address that. That link is also in the description of this video. The other installation note is that you will need a 240 volt 60 hertz electrical connection for the stove. Some kitchens may already have this built in, but it could require an electrician to upgrade your existing outlet, and placement of that outlet also matters if you want to avoid any unnecessary gaps. Finally, I will address the price and value of the Wolf induction range. The range is priced at approximately $12,000, which no question is high compared to other ranges in the market, probably in general for most things on the market. Definitely a luxury good and not in everyone's budget. For me, this was a long-term kitchen goal, but if you need a cheaper alternative, Wolf offers a cheaper $9,000 30-inch model or cheaper cooktop options as well. And obviously there's a ton of other competitors on the market as well. But that said, if you're aiming for the best, Wolf is the best induction stove on the market, and Wolf delivers. I would argue it's worth its value given all its benefits. All in all, the Wolf Induction Range model IR36550 is an excellent choice for those in need of a high-performing range. Its sleek design, powerful performance, and reliable features make it a great choice for anyone looking for an induction range. Not only will it make it easier to cook and reheat meals, but it will also bring you one more step to the future in your kitchen. Now, this video is not sponsored by Wolf, but I highly endorse the stove. Again, I'm Neil Bhay for Tech It Up. If you want to hear more about rarely covered tech in the consumer product space, or tech in health, or tech as it's used in the environment, subscribe to my channel or follow me on Facebook, Threads, or Mastodon for similar tidbits. Wishing you all the best, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.